this live stream, right? We're going to get into XRP, or at least I am, and you're going to help me co-teach this. XRP and its connection to the number 13, also the United States dollar and its connection to the number 13 as well. The number 13 has been viewed upon as an unlucky number, but that's not the case, and I'm going to prove that on this live stream, and why I predict that now XRP will probably hit $13 this year. In the past I said $8 to $10. Now I'm thinking $13. So I want you all to come in, hit the like, hit the share button, and share this live stream. And the Simpsons. Let's break down. Let's look at the Simpsons, that famous whiteboard that many decoders have attempted to decode and give their interpretation of what that means on the whiteboard, that many over the years have interpreted that it's going to mean Bitcoin is going to crash. We're going to look at that as well. Is that really what that whiteboard said, that Bitcoin is going to crash? Now, whether you are watching this live or on the replay, I want you to let me know what part of the world you are tuning in from. But I also want to say this. I have been quite frequently back to back to back, what I mean by frequently, covering XRP. And in doing so, I have attracted to more people that's in what's called the quote unquote XRP army. And I want to be blunt and honest with you and open. A lot of you all are quite rude. I've had people that say they're in the XRP. I didn't say everybody, but call people bozos, say things like that's BS, especially when I explain to them that Bitcoin and XRP are not made by the same developers. Like, there's 3 co-founders of Ripple Labs, and most people that say the XRP army does not even know the names of all 3, and they want to say that Satoshi and the developers of XRP are the same, and that's not true. And they have no supporting evidence to state that fact, other than this is just a rumor that has been going around. Satoshi and the XRP developers are not they're not the same. There is not the same. I don't know where this is coming from, but again, come in, hit the like, hit the share button. The purpose of XRP and Bitcoin are totally different. And the XRP developer on the interview with Jeremiah Da Vinci, admitted openly in the interview that he was invested in both Bitcoin and Filecoin. So if an XRP developer can say, hey, I'm invested in Bitcoin, I don't know why people in the XRP army are so, some people, let me correct that, are so closed-minded, right? Closed-minded, because I've never had a Bitcoin Maximus that come on my channel that say, hey, I've taken the orange pill and attack XRP army. But I always see the opposite. XRP army is out. Some people in the XRP are just rude. And I don't understand that at all, right? Just rude. You call people bozos. You saying this BS. I mean, just rude. And uneducated, by the way, about that which you so support. But hey, let's get in. It is powerful. It is powerful, Pastor Rashad. I've never seen it. I guess it's the difference between a person that's invested in a 6-figure asset like Bitcoin mindset and some people that's invested like in a $2 asset, currently $2, like XRP. Different mindset, right? All right, with that coming in, you all come on in, because whether you're XRP army, whether you take the blue pill, the orange pill, the blue pill, the red pill, the XRP pill, Ripple pill, whatever pill, this is going to appeal to everyone likewise. I also had someone that made a comment as well that I watch old videos, and if I'm just now getting into XRP, don't listen to me. I'm just now getting to XRP. Listen, I've been doing this since 2019. In fact, I'm going to show you an old XRP video that I'm going to reference today that I took the time to listen back on, or listen on, that was very, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to reteach this. I'm just going to play my video teaching this, but I'm not new to this at all. I am very much true to this. I'm not new to this. I am true to this. So this is July 13th XRP Gematria video that I broke down. I have a way of tying in numbers, numerology, or God has gifted me a weird way to tie in numerology and biblical numerology as well as gematria. And see, this is a video over a year old. For someone says, "Oh, this lady is just not talking about XRP." I don't know. I've been doing this. This video is over a year old. July XRP, July 13th gematria, and for some reason, I still have not streamed 1 year ago. So, I mean, some people are just absolute rude, but that's okay. That's okay. I want all the money. I want all the money, all my ancestors, and all my ancestor stuff back. Okay. That means that you want gold. But if you want the labor from your ancestors back in monetary form, I can definitely help you get that. Hi from New Zealand. Thank you for tuning in as well. And you all, I'm gonna have to find out a different way to do this because I really don't want to reteach this today. But I do want you all to hear it. And for some reason, again, my audio. So what I'm gonna do this test run of showing the audio on my phone and at the same time playing the audio from my phone, but letting you see the image. So you just don't have to just listen to the audio version of it, right? The audio version of it. So I'm going to hit the play button. Let me know how this works, because if I play it here, it's going to be very muffled. It's going to have a, listen, I went in and I adjusted the settings to the playback settings on this to normal and everything. And for the playback speed should be showing normal. And it still does not give me high sound quality. I've done it from this perspective and other perspective. So let me know how this works and if you can hear the sound this way. Or a woman that carries a child for 9 months, and the 9th month is the month of completion, to where a child matures and maturation, right, is the 9th month. And so once you understand the origins of these months and their names and the accuracy of it, and not go off the Gregorian calendar, then you will be in alignment. Now, September ends the Shemitah year this year. And so I'm expecting, again, the number 8 is the number of new beginning, the ending of an old. It is the upside down infinity sign. It is the ending of an old to begin a new thing, right? The ending of an old to begin a new. Y'all, give me a second. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I just want to see how that works. So I will do that later on. But what I want to do now is connect the number 13 to XRP. We know that July 13th was the date for the ruling, right? July 13th, the date for the ruling 2023, that XRP, first of all, when sold to retail investors, was not deemed a security. However, when sold to institutional investors with contract, it was deemed a security. There was 2 ways XRP was sold, right? It was sold to institutional investors with contract, deemed as security, retail investors, non-security. So that ruling was July 13th as well. Now, number 13, let me break this down. I'm gonna show this other video breaking down the number 13. But first, let me share the gematria with you to let you know where I'm going with this and why you want to tune in. Um, Also, a lot of things that the Simpsons showed that was misinterpreted, and how I believe April, even around April the 16th of this month of this year, is going to bring some changes about. I do not. I believe that the SEC case is going to be dropped. It's not going to be an issue. However, I do not think we're going to see an automatic pump with SRP as that case is dropped. Now, we look at the gematria, the reduction of XRP, and we see 22. You can automatically think in terms of ISO 20022 coins or tokens. The reverse of that is 23. Reverse reduction 14, but 8 plus 5 is 13. So this is where we get XRP, one word, three letters, right? One word, three letters connected to the number 13. Also, the gematria of XLM, the reduction of XLM is 13. The ordinal 4 plus 9 is 13. One word, three letters. The reverse, similar to XRP, is 32 and not 23. You know, if you're a sports fan, you could think of Michael Jordan, 23, Magic Johnson, 32, you know, the two that ever did it. Very different styles of playing, but both were, you know, Michael Jordan, of course, was Michael Jordan, considered the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And Magic Johnson was the best in his perspective, era, and position, right? So XRP is 23, XLM is 32. Reverse reduction is 14, the same as XRP, XLM, right? Just hold on. We're going somewhere. I'm going somewhere with this. I promise you. So when you put in Bitcoin, you're going to see connected to the number 9. The number 9 reduction is 36. That which is hidden will be revealed, right? I say this all the time, that when doing gematria, the number 9, Jesus on the cross died during the 9th hour, right? It was in 369 intervals, 3 hours apart. When he was first put on the cross, 3 hours later started the transition. And then the 9th hour of the days when he gave up the ghost, he died. So we have, just like a woman carries an infant in maturity in the womb in the darkness for 9 months, and the fetus is now developing to an infant and is giving birth. The number 9 is that which is hidden will be revealed. One word, 7 letters. The number 7 is divine transition. Divine transition. In fact, on the 7th day, God in Genesis rested. That word rest means to reset. It does not mean to take a nap. It means to combine and collaborate. The 6 days of things in nature and creation that was did in the natural world. Then the 7th day was the combining or combination of the spiritual world with 6 is the number of man, right? And 7 means the spiritual and natural person is holistically combined. Divine transition. So in Genesis on the 7th day, a divine transition was made. Jesus rest, Jesus bankrupted. He combined the spiritual with the natural. So thus we have Bitcoin, the 7 and the number 9. However, if you go to x.com, you're going to see BTC. And BTC reflects the number 7 alone. A divine transition. When Bitcoin first came upon the scene in January of 2009, that was a divine transition. And then we see the reverse here of 56. 5 plus 6 is 11. 11, the breaking down of an old thing, as in Genesis 11, to the building of a new, the Tower of Babel, a new technology change, a frequency change. People were one accord, one world order, new world order, whatever you, however you want to say it. And then the diversity of globalization of language came about because it was not that time. So don't ever, especially when Bitcoin is connected to 7-Eleven, just like the grocery store change, a global grocery store is 7-Eleven. Don't ever think I'm going against Bitcoin. You know 1111s on my numbers, right? So we see the 7-Eleven code, also the number 9 code, and Bitcoin. Now, this happened. Let's go back to XRP and its NYDS approval. And let's go to the Gematria real quick again. And speaking of 111, we see that New York is also in Gematria 111. 111, the ordinal is 11. The reduction is 39, which, I mean, 111 is the ordinal. The reduction is 39. 9 plus 3 is 11. I mean, 12. Yeah. But we have the New York and the double 33. 33, the age in which Jesus, Yeshua on this earth died. And we know the 3 days connected with that, 3 days of the resurrection. Within 3 days, the 333 formula that followed Jesus Christ or Yeshua in his original name form on this earth, the 33. So when we look at the Phoenix and the double 88, which I can show you all, especially if you're new to this and new to this, my type of teaching, then you're going to see the Phoenix bird under 1988. Get ready, Economist magazine, get ready for a new world order by the Rothschilds predicting a world currency was coming, a new currency system. It was a world famous Economist magazine that predicted and showed digital money, the rise of digital money, and the crashing of, let me find a bigger picture. The crashing of paper currency and fiat currency as well. Let me see, this might be a better picture. And so let's get into this. 444 are my numbers, but it's 555 right now. Okay. Why is 444 your numbers? So this is the 1988 Economist magazine. This particular picture, it has stellar lumens, but you all, this is not the symbol for stellar lumens. This is the symbol for cosmos. The O in cosmos has that singular slash. And someone who I believe is just a very novice to cryptocurrency put in one of my old videos, they said cosmos and they laugh about it. Like LOL, I'm like, you must don't know the ecosystem or the purpose of cosmos, the internet of the blockchain with all the data and osmosis ecosystem and all the different ecosystems and the purpose and plan for cosmos. But I'm not on here to debate with people like that don't do their research and they want to laugh and say, why would that be cosmos? But I can tell you it is not stellar lumus. Now it can be grok, because Elon Musk later on made a single slash through what looks like a circle for grok, and he changed that that logo for growth. But again, cosmos is also mentioned on the Simpsons as well. And once you understand the internet of blockchain and all of the ecosystems that's going to be built on the cosmos, then you understand or you realize, right? So that's that same logo here in the word. And if I pull up some Simpsons, season 31, episode 13, you're going to see the stellar lumas, not the stellar lumas, but the cosmos, other logo all over the Simpsons as well. and it's going to have, you know what, I'll show you that video later on if versus telling you, but it's going to have ISO for isotopes, which is supposed to be the baseball team name for the Simpsons. On their baseball jerseys, you're going to see this symbol, isotopes. We can look at that as ISO 20, or ISO 22. I don't want to say that whole thing, but that's the same thing we see in the Phoenix cover of the magazine, which is the Internet of Blockchain, from the 1988 Economist. Also, the number 10. The number 10 is the ending of a, a numeric numbering system in the beginning of a new one, meaning that after 10, you have 11, and it gets into a repetitive stance, right? Um, the gold coin, also a tenth, and biblically, a tenth of your tithe, you're considered financially blessed to give a tenth of your tithing. But the number 10 is also connected to Jacob Fucker. I'm not trying to use profanity, people. That's the Ripple, founded by, and at that time it was called Open Coin, and they have the number 10 connected to them as well. The chain around the Phoenix bird is chain link. Chain link is also mentioned on The Simpsons. The coin here, it could be representation of both Bitcoin or just gold coin. We know gold is real money. Everything else is just credit. Fiat currency and money are different. Money must have intrinsic value. So in Article 1, stands 10 of the Constitution, it is declared and written that gold is real money. And when this currency system reset, gold and silver is going to be used to reset this currency system. We have the Phoenix bird within itself. I believe that this is the same Phoenix bird on the back of our US dollar bill, that we see the pyramid in the dollar bill as well. There's 13 steps to the pyramid. New World Order is back on back of the dollar bill. There's 13 letters, right? And so we have 13 arrows in the claws of the Phoenix bird. I know the American bird is the bird that represents United States, but I believe that's the Phoenix bird on the back of the dollar bill. 13 arrows and one claw and one side, and then 13 feathers as well. So cash burning out of ashes. The phoenix is an immortal bird that rises from its own ashes. So will arise a phoenix, one world order. Um, XRP Phoenix. Phoenix start with P, ends with X. 2018, the year of its start, but 2018 was also the biggest crypto crash year that ever happened in a holistic form with cryptocurrency. The bloodiest year ever, right? So then this is where we have New York and Ripple, and the number 13. Again, New York is 111. And I'm not reading a lot of comments, but you are free to comment because I just don't want to be distracted on this live stream, right? And going back and forth between topics, because just breaking down and explaining this, it takes a lot of mental energy. That's why many people don't do it. And they don't do it live stream. Like you see uploaded videos, but they're not going to do it live, right? So Ripple mints 13 million RLUSD stablecoins after NYDFS approval. 13. And guess when the date of this article was produced and published? December the 13th. So we have 13 connected to XRP and Ripple, the ruling July 13th, 2023. Also connected to XRP, along with the number 13s on the back of our US dollar bill and that currency. I'm not trying to, discourage you from commenting, but just know if I'm not reading all of them right offhand, then that's why. I go back and read them later. So you are free to comment, right? So we had the RLUSD, Ripple mints 13 million RLUSD stablecoins on the XRP ledger and the Ethereum network. Minting costs XRP ledger, showcasing scalability. Now, this was December 13, 2024, 13 million RLUSD stablecoin. XRP, Gematria 13. XLM, Gematria 13. Bitcoin, Gematria numbers 7 and 11. 7, 11. Now, let me furthermore play the video that I made last year. And also, I want you to think about the 13 banking families. The 13 banking families that pretty much rule the world. It's 13 rich and banking families. In fact, on one of the Simpsons episode that I'm going to show you all, the motorcycles, Flare Network, and with the Phoenix on the tank, which is the fuel, which represents SRP will be the fuel and liquidity pool, and take out the liquidity pool. There's 13 dots on their headlight. Now I'm speaking ahead of myself, but I promise you I'm gonna show it to you. So number 13 is everywhere. You know, Jesus, Yeshua, and his 12 disciples made the number 13, right? Now, this is another video, and I'm going to attempt again to do the sound the same way. So it may be off a little bit, but for people say that I'm a novice to XRP, I actually have 5 figures in XRP. I'm not late to the XRP party. This was XRP and a dollar connection to the number 13. This video I did was streamed 1 year ago. And again, I'm going to say this. There are some very rude people in the XRP army. I mean, just rude. I've never seen people like this. Now, if a person that's, an orange pill Bitcoin person comes in and, they call people bozos and say stuff is BS, then, I don't know what that was. Then I'll say, hey, Bitcoin Maximus, you all are rude as well. But I've only seen this with XRP so far. I mean, just flat out rude, because it's like they're waiting. I guess they're waiting and anticipating on the same results that Bitcoin have. And as a result, they are just, the time that you saw 666, maybe a little rude in the process. I don't know why they so mean and rude, but they are. It's like, if you don't totally believe that XRP is going to be the one and only, XRP does not need to be dependent on Bitcoin. But let me tell you, our people, if Bitcoin crashes, it's going to affect the rest of the crypto world overall. Do not expect the first crypto to hit 6 figures and the first one to be in production to go down, and it does not affect the rest of the crypto world. So, right, if you're not open-minded to accept both XRP and Bitcoin like I am, that's fine, but you don't have to be rude. All right, so let's go back to this. Let's see if I can connect this XRP and the dollar connection to the number 13. I don't feel like reteaching it when I've already taught it. So I'm gonna just try to see if you all can go along with it and hear it this way. Stop desiring the knowledge without the action to implement it. Gotta see if this because it will do you no good. Listen, I just passed by gas stations. I did a live stream earlier this morning that gas prices are going to rise 10 to 25 cents. It may be off just a little bit. And I just passed by gas station that it rose 10 cents just on today. No, you research. I'm not researching all these topics. That's for you. Let me fast forward. You're telling me to research. You have a YouTube channel. You go live and you teach. So what I want to skip to. Right. I don't go deep into all of these other people's because my. So let me skip forward to try to get this to add up. Numerology is biblical based. And I do apologize, but if I play it the regular way, it's just not going to sink in. And you elaborate on those other people, but with all honesty, I don't go outside of my area because some people they mentally cannot handle it. They mentally cannot handle it.
And then they get diagnosed with things like schizophrenia, or they have people that call them crazy.
I'm fussing about something, huh?
Because you're going down a path that you're mentally not ready. There's people that study the fourth and fifth dimension, and you haven't learned how to live in this dimension.
Yeah, I was fussing on this one, but I'm gonna get into number 13.
You haven't learned how to live in this universe. And in my opinion, that's a mental issue. So Numbers 13, then the Lord said to Moses, send me some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I'm giving to the Israelites from the ancestral tribe of its leaders. And this is when, Numbers 13, they said, hey, we can is this land for us? Believe it or not, there are some people who are afraid to become rich and wealthy, so they don't take action at all. Their knowledge is never put into action. As I said earlier, if you obtain knowledge and you don't act upon it, you have just wasted the time that you have to attain the knowledge. So some people thought that they could take possession of the land, and they can certainly do it, which means they took actions. And some people said they couldn't in number 13. Henry Ford said it this way: whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're both right. You're both right. The person who thinks they can is right, and the person who thinks they can't is right. And I'm here to dispel people who only want the knowledge without taking the action, because you're going to look back on this time frame and you're going to wish that you converted. See, the difference between the poor, the middle class, and the rich and wealthy is the rich and wealthy understand that they need to convert their cash into assets. It is simple. You don't have to go down a rabbit hole and do a whole lot of research for that. You don't have to read all these deep philosophers. If you are reading that, fine, but you don't have to. All you have to do is get out of your own way and put your depreciating cash into assets. It's simple, but it's not easy for a lot of people because they have mental blocks. All right, 2 Chronicles 9 and 13. I usually show this from 1 Kings 10 and 14. Because a lot of what you've been taught about numbers from a biblical perspective is inaccurate. It reads, now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 606 talents of gold. You want to know what that is, you all? That's 666. That's 666. And it says it again. Now, explain to me how the richest man in the Bible and the wisest man in the Bible, if it was an evil number, decided to accept that amount in gold. And tell me, when was the time that you saw 666, that any evil came your way? I'll wait. When have you saw 666 and any evil came your way? 666, again, protons, electrons, neutrons is what you're made up of. The sixth day was the only day that God said was very good in Genesis. And then it tells you again that King Solomon received over 666 talents of gold in 1 Kings 10 and 14.
Okay, so that was that. Now I'm gonna go back, retrack, and replay. Yeah, I was fussing about something on that one. I probably had a lot of religious type people on that live stream, right? And and but I'm gonna show you the same clip a year ago that I also included the dollar teaching on the number 13, again XRP XLM connection to the number 13 as well. Someone says, I'm going to read these comments. Yeah, they're frustrated because everyday people have crazy theories about how God told them about XRP. I agree. XRP, I've never seen so many people say God told them a dream or vision about XRP. and no other crypto. God is only talking to people about XRP, but um, they're emotionally attached to XRP, and people continue to monetize their emotions and make crazy claims. So they just crash out when people make all of these claims. D Harb says maximalists are way too emotionally attached to their pick, but I've never seen a Bitcoin maximalist just insult people. I've never seen it. I never heard a Bitcoin maximalist call a person a bozo, or um, just totally make the accusations that some people, I have to continue to say some, and XRP make. I'm just rude. I'm sorry, just rude, right? And will debate me to the okay. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. This post, even if they don't have the facts, and you can tell when a person is uneducated because they vent out their frustration as what appears to be ignorance. They argue. They make an argumentative debate that they don't have the facts to support, but yet they argue that, right? Um, look, SRP is going to be fine. I promise you. You don't have to bash Bitcoin to understand where XRP is going, but people do that. Like this post I made that says year 2011, number 11, 2011. In fact, let me see if it'll get bigger. Okay. In 2011, these three engineers, David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, and Arthur Brito, began developing the SRP ledger, XRPL, fascinated by Bitcoin, right? They set out to create a better version that improved upon its limitations. They were fascinated by Bitcoin. Bitcoin's original. And people say, oh no, Bitcoin developers left. And we don't even know who Bitcoin developer is. Satoshi. Mysterious person. So I put out here, XRP was created by the founders of Ripple Labs, Chris Larson, Jed McCaleb, Arthur Brito. We can't forget about Jacob Fugger, who sold it. And it was OpenCoin before then. These projects are entirely independent of each other with different goals, technologies, and teams. Let me show you some of the comments. Someone says, why Brito never be heard of on social media? Is it something secretly behind the scene? I'm like, you can Google his name. How is that person ever heard? Google his name. It's right there, Brito. Arthur Brito. It'll tell you. Then somebody else says, it is correct. The same person made both. First of all, Ripple has a team of people, not a person. And unless Ripple people are named Satoshi, that's not correct. Then I say it's not correct. It's a rumor that has no proof. They responded back. Believe me, Queen, it's true. XRP has been out here since the 80s. Okay, where's the evidence? That's why I asked the person, where's the evidence? Then somebody else says, listen, they made BTC and later improved upon it. So you're telling me XRP developers made Bitcoin, and which then called themselves to Satoshi, and later improved upon it. So if you believe XRP is going to, whatever in your mind, what it's going to be, I know what it is. It is going to be big. I'm not saying it's not, but whatever your big, some people when it hits $13 is going to be big enough for them. But whatever big is, some people won't even hold to see if it's going to reach $1,000 or $100, right? But if you believe these same people made Bitcoin, then why would you believe that Bitcoin has to go away? Chris Larson then created, David Schwartz did. XRP was created before Bitcoin. XRP has co-developers. Listen, cryptography has been around for a long time. But as far as we know, it came up on the scene. Bitcoin came first in 2009, as the public know. But why is all this back and forth matter? It's not one Bitcoin person. Not one Bitcoin person. That was all XRP army people. Not one person. Why? Because, Bitcoin people probably somewhere rich. I don't know. They don't have time for those small conversations. They just don't. Someone says David Schwartz worked on Bitcoin. All I know is they said Satoshi did it. Nobody know who worked on Bitcoin. And if you have evidence of that, put the link in the comments. Put the link in the comments. Right. When you thank you, Crypto Pharaoh, man, I'm gonna say you're a man. I don't know. With that Mason sign. When you have both, it doesn't matter. But it matters when you only have XRP and you're waiting to see if it's going to do what Bitcoin does. Then that matters to you. Then you start argumentative and being debative and rude. That doesn't mean you should treat people that have Bitcoin that saw the vision a long time ago. You're a man, thank you. I'm talking about character wise. I don't see how character wise, you know. Uh there's a Bitcoin island. I saw it on YouTube. Okay, drop the link. That'll be very interesting. But let me get back to what I was saying. Because guess what? If you all watch the replay of this video, you're going to see some XRP more rude comments. And I'm just going to overlook them because that's kind of what I expect from some people in the XRP community, to be rude without a reason. And their reason is they're angry because they haven't seen the results they want to see out of XRP yet, but the results are coming. eCash was created in 1990. It was technically the first digital currency. Okay. Most people aren't used to having money and would sell off at the bottom. True. I agree. But let's go. XRP Army. XRP is the time is going to come. You don't have to be rude. All right. You don't have to be rude. So let's talk about the dollar right here. Number 13 connects to XRP and the dollar. All right, let me try to line both of these videos together.
Dollar bill. I'm just strolling in my vehicle, you all. Let me tell you something. When you ask, seek, and knock, the information will flow and come to you. I promise you. And I see the number 13 not only connected with XRP, but the dollar bill. Right? So let's listen to this. Root of all evil. Write down root of all evil and count it. That's 13 letters. And I want to show you this on the back of the dollar bill. This can't be a coincidence. Somebody put this together that likes that number 13. So look at it. There are 13 steps on the pyramid. Look over at the eagle. There are 13 stars above the eagle. There are 13 vertical and 13 horizontal stripes on the shield, 13 leaves and 13 berries on the branch in the eagle's hand, and the eagle is holding 13 arrows. And then look at some of the words on there. That annuit coeptus, that's 13 letters. And then it says New World Order. That's 13 letters. New World Order is 13 letters. That's what that stands for under the pyramid there, New World Order. So you see that back of the dollar bill connected with the number 13. And then it has that evil eye, that all-seeing eye in the pyramid that comes up in music. It comes up in the movies. Just go to Target and look at the front cover of the books. When you go through that the book section there, or any bookstore, you're going to see a theme of that all-seeing eye, symbolism. walking through the mall, look at some of the posters of, anything in there. There's going to be some all-seeing eye symbolism. Somebody covering the eye, something like that. That's very a big thing in the occult. Look at Anton LaVey's pictures of Anton LaVey, the pastor of the Church of Satan. He does the eye and the pyramid thing. Aleister Crowley, you'll see pictures of him with the eye and the pyramid. Aleister Crowley, the most famous Satanist that there is, known for being a Satanist.
So XRP connect to the number 13. Now, I wanted to pause right there. You're not seeing dual. This is a Euro video that I did about XRP and the dollar 13 connection. You see 13 in the Bible, Genesis 13 and 13, 13 worlds, first mention of wicked and sinners. Now, some people might take this wrong way and say, well, Queen, you're trying to say that XRP is 13? Is okay, let's go on. 13 evils, um, Revelations 13, the Antichrist in 666, Chronicles 9 and 13, King Solomon sold 666 ounces of talents of gold each year for his talents. Also, and I'm going to pull up the Second Chronicles 9 and 13 as well. Also, there are 13 famines in the Bible. Did you all know that? 13 famines in the Bible. 13 rich banking families. We saw that on The Simpsons that ruled the world. July 13th, December the 13th of this year, 13 million RLUSD released upon the New York, which is 111 judgment. And so, I'm trying to say Solomon, Queen Sheba, Second Chronicles 9 and 13. The Queen of Sheba. This is why we saw that you all see the Sheba Inu Photoshop or the Simpsons. That was not the original Sheba Inu. Was not on that newspaper, Professor. Now some of you all be like, Queen, I don't follow the Simpsons, but I'm gonna show you why you should. In a few, I'm gonna show you Simpsons episode because the Simpsons have showed us Lady Gaga performing. They showed us Trump winning the first presidency and also running again in 2024 and winning the second presidency. And showed us that a woman comes on and say we've inherited quite a budget crunch under President Trump. What else has the Simpsons showed us that's going to happen, you all? C19. I mean, just a whole lot of stuff. So that's why it is important in my eyes to know what the Simpsons is saying about crypto. Second Chronicles 9 and 13. Now the weight of gold that Solomon had in 1 year was 603 score and 6 talents of gold. That's 913. Now let's flip the script and get into the Simpsons. Right? Let's flip the script, and I'm going to attempt to stay on here for at least 10, 15 more minutes. So you all can come on in with your comments right now. I've played the part that I want you all to see. Someone says 13. Wow. Someone says 13 is a sell trap. But I do believe we're going to see a $13 XRP this year. The more to the dollar on the fund, but only certain people know what it is. Now he said that there was an eagle, 13 stripes on the shield. I think it's the phoenix. I do know that eagle is our, when I say our, I mean the United States, national bird. However, I think that's the phoenix on the back of that. But 13 arrows, New World Order, 13 letters. It's something else in Gematria that equals up. Hold on, let me type it and see. I'm not quoting it right. But hold up. was 9. All right. Okay. It's something else. New World Order. That's what it is. Equal 13 that I wanted to bring to your attention. Also, let's go back 88, double 88. New World Order. Even in 1988, right? They said that a New World order was coming, even though, as of our public records, we know that publicly cryptography was talked about way in the 1600s. Right. I know that cryptography was talked about in the 16. No. Let me take that back. I think 1900s. Because I think one of my Simpsons videos, I said 1977, and someone said, no, Queen is 1977, and someone let me know that it was 1997 when the Crypto Born first episode first aired, and I said that date backwards. But in 1988, the Phoenix let us know. So we know at least 1988, they were definitely aware of physical currency. But let's see. Looking for my post on X.com. On the Phoenix 1988, we saw the number 10. And again, I talked about Jacob Fugger, you are. That's like the Fockers, whatever that movie is, just kind of hard to say. But Ryan Fugger is Ripple's founder, actually, a descendant of the Fugger family. And the 1988 Get Ready for World Currency magazine, the 10 ducats in 1621. So yeah, early the 1600s, they were connecting and collaborating this, minted as circulation. I mean, we can look at Nikola Tesla and what he discovered about energy and digitalizing and using natural energy way back in Nikola Tesla's time. And so 10 ducats, 1621, minted as a currency for the Fucker family, notably the Holy Roman Empire. And so we have Ryan Fucker, who is also the Ripple founder. This is where we see the 10 here, and also that ducats that was minted in 1621, 10 ducats. So this was, like most people don't realize this stuff is planned so many years ago and ahead of time, right? All right, I told you I was going to give you 10 minutes of the Simpsons and the cryptos. Where did most people get that the Simpsons predict the collapse of Bitcoin? Well, it was this episode that was misinterpreted. Season 31, episode 13. That's a flip in the currency. So thank you all for coming in, and we are having intelligent conversation, right? Let's see what you all have been saying. Brad Garland House slip RLUSD as a real US dollar. What'd you say? Brad Garland House. I don't know what that means. Yeah, just drop the links. Don't just say things. Put in the article link, and we can look this all up by the article. Because someone said, to drop the link. Okay, you accidentally you said Brad Garland House frigidly slipped RLUSD as a real US dollar. This is the thing, though. The dollar is crashing. Like, the dollar is crashing. You all, since we're having an intelligent conversation, let me take the glasses off. My eyes are red, but I'm going to take them off. That's why I try to keep them on now when I live stream, when I didn't a year or two ago. After all of this, looking at my laptop and my phone, it weakens my eyes. You all, the United States dollar is not going to be the world reserve currency because of Nixon removing it from being linked to gold in 1971. I just uploaded a video in it. So are we really taking pride of this being a new digital dollar when other countries, I uploaded the video about the Ponzi scheme of the United States dollar, right? And the Simpsons episode is going to show this about it collapsing overnight. Many people 401ks are going to be gone. That's why I'm just thinking about pulling out my retirement. Not financial advice. I just had this thought today that maybe I should just pull out and put it in crypto. Because if it crashes and my retirement is connected to the dollar, then what? And that how the elites been knowing that we need to get back to the gold standard and that this is going to happen. No currency has lasted over 50 years whenever it has not been backed by a real commodity. And this is when people say, well, Bitcoin is not backed by anything. Well, neither is gold. See, if you understand gold, physical gold, it's not hard if you understand crypto, Bitcoin in particular. Bitcoin is a coin, it's not a currency. That's why it's called Bitcoin. And I know some of you are gonna say, yeah, Queen, gold is backed by God. It is made by God. A supernova bursting in the air. For the people that don't understand cosmos and 6 protons, neutrons, electrons, and how all that stuff happened in the stars and the minerals drop into the earth realm, and thus we have gold. But we've never, only accounts in the Bible that says they physically seen God. For some reason, we haven't had any current accounts of people saying they have seen God. That's recorded in the Bible, right? So we're saying God backs gold, and we've never seen him. The same way Satoshi is back in Bitcoin, and nobody's ever seen Satoshi. Nobody. The very godlike qualities in physical gold, whoever created Bitcoin has those same qualities in Bitcoin. Same qualities. You never seen them, only heard about them, only heard the name. Intrinsic value is the intellectual property. It is made with limited supply. Nobody can change that algorithm. It is done. We don't know how much gold can be mined or found. According to China, they still finding 80 billion, $80 billion worth of gold today. Nobody knows how much gold, but Bitcoin has a finite supply, a fixed supply. So if you understand physical gold and it being real money and the pressures of how it's made, and then you can understand Bitcoin. If you can't understand physical gold, but most people that don't understand physical gold, they feel like that, hey, if I have a crypto like an XRP or XLM that's backed by gold or silver or pegged to gold and silver, I have something of value. Why can't you understand that same concept when it comes to the way Bitcoin is done in a very physical gold-like manner? Bitcoin is just a prototype. That's, to me, that's not a very intellectual comment to make. And I'm not calling you ignorant, but it's at over 100K today. So if it is, it should be a prototype. Very well deserving. What other crypto at this point can even stand beside it? See, most people think that the value of something equals the price. We can't go out today and spend physical gold, but it's valuable. You can't spend Bitcoin at the grocery store. You can't spend this at the grocery store. And nobody wants to spend this at the grocery store. Unless it's a matter of life and death. Like, you got to be starving and haven't eaten in months, and at the point of dehydration and exhaustion of needing water, which is definitely, according to Maslow's, the hierarchy of needs. But when people say things like, oh, you can't go spend Bitcoin, you can't go spend this either, but it has intrinsic value. So to say that Bitcoin is just a prototype, like that is nothing. That's like saying, yeah, God, you said in Revelation 1:11, you are the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Like that's no big deal to be the first. See, this is why knowing about this helps people understand Bitcoin without debating. This is why people want XRP to be pegged to gold. Just the prototype. Okay. All right. I'm not even gonna listen. If you don't have Bitcoin in your portfolio, that's you. I do, and I'm keeping it. It's a store of value, it's digital gold. Did the Simpsons predict the collapse of Bitcoin? They did not. This was misinterpreted. Let's break it down. All right, let's go.
I thought you'd enjoy this, Lisa. You deserve to have the food that only you like. And ice. Ew. Why are you both kissing up to Lisa? Is this her last meal? Have you picked a subject yet for your most interesting person I know paper? The most interesting person I know is a white male. That'll go over great in today's climate. Who? You know, Flavin, Glavin, Hoivik. That Coke bottle with teeth? Vegan charade. Love to know how you got started in science. Oh, science? Well, I was created by science.
Okay, this is not going to be easy for me because, again, I can't connect the sound to this. So let me go back. We see Chainlink in the background here. Lisa is eating at a vegan restaurant. She has a school project of writing on, the most influential person in her life, right? And she's looking for that person. So Homer agrees to go to a vegan restaurant. We know Lisa is vegan. So you have Chainlink on the back. This is moving so fast. But anyway, you can see it on the wall on the bricks. I can't, keep pausing and trying to catch it, or we never get through this. And I'm going to show you these videos like this that people to predict a Bitcoin that was absolutely wrong, right? If you don't want to be in Bitcoin, that's great. Being XRP is going to be great as well. But I'm not limiting my choices. So we have Lisa, Professor Hessler's in the background is Heisler, Professor Heisler, Gary Giesler Gensler as well. And then you have the Rubik's Cube. This is a representation of blockchain technology. Professor Frink is Larry Fink, a BlackRock CEO, who was the first to bring an ETF, or the biggest ETF, the largest asset development and asset investing firm in the world. So when some people say Bitcoin is a fluke, I'm like, you don't think the people that run the largest asset management in the world did they research and due diligence? But everyday people who not in Bitcoin know something they don't know. They're not going to put multiple millions and billions of dollars in something. These asset managers not do their research. But hey, that's what you want to believe, and you don't at least own a tenth of Bitcoin, then that's your decision. It's not going to be mine. So you got Larry Frink, Professor Frink. Well, I have more than a tenth, but I've been telling people because of the price of Bitcoin right now that it try to get at least of a tenth, right? So Lisa, that's the interview. Professor Frink, again, Larry Fink, BlackRock is who he represents. Then we have Frink Coin. Now this has been Photoshop. You all seen this where Shiba Inu was replaced. And I tell people, where there is smoke, there is fire. Again, we see the Rubik's Cube again that represents blockchain technology. There had been Photoshop, just like Bart Simpson writing on the board that XRP to 589. That was a Photoshop image as well from The Simpsons. All right.
My dear child, get noticed was through science and changing the pitch of my voice so they couldn't help but notice me. For I have been developing my own cryptocurrency.
Okay, he's been developing his own cryptocurrency. He said the only way he was the first test tube baby through science, the only way he was noticed by changing the pitch of his voice. Some people say this is Ripple Labs to them. To me, this is Cosmos, Osmosis, is on the ecosystem as well. The two slashes here in the lines is Stellar XLM, right? Cosmos, science, nature, earth, etc., etc. So he gets into his creation of Frank coin, which is a representation of Bitcoin.
Oh, I have no idea what that means. Could a nerd do that? I don't think so. Get me.
Okay, now to be honest with you, I did not know why Jim Parsons was the person they chose to explain cryptocurrency in The Simpsons. However, I finally watched the episode of The Big Bang Theory. And Jim Parsons, what happened in that episode, he and his friends, who were considered nerds, right, um, wanted to mine Bitcoin. They started talking, this episode was back in the 90s, and they were considered nerds, and they wanted to mine Bitcoin, and they did mine Bitcoin, and they had it on a ledger, and they lost, Jim Parsons lost this ledger full of Bitcoin that could have made them very rich. And he put it on a keychain. And one of my followers on Facebook helped me find this information as well, of his friend's keychain who destroyed the Bitcoin. So this is why Jim Parsons, I thought this was Brad Garlinghouse at first, but it's not. It's Jim Parsons himself because of the Big Bang Theory. Now, when I talked about the number 13 in XRP, there's 13 dots here. The Illuminati, illuminated. In fact, once we go to another scene, you're going to see the masonry sign. Now, if you know about skull and bones and the masonry and the two bones that make an X, then XRP. What is XRP for? XRP is the banking coin. It is for the bankers, to make the bankers strong. What is Bitcoin for? Bitcoin is for the people to get out of centralized banking system. It's quite Henry Ford said it this way: if people really knew how the banking system worked, that they would have a bank run on tomorrow. What did he mean by that? Well, he meant that if everyday working people knew that every time we have a direct deposit into our bank account, that what the bank do is take that devalued currency that's called fiat. Fiat means let it be done, let it be so. We know that our dollar is not backed by a real commodity. We know we are devaluing our dollar, but so be it in Latin, right? He said if people really knew how the banking system worked, there would be a bank run on tomorrow. 13 richest banking families run this world, better known as the feds. They're not federal, they're not government, right? So the 13, the Illuminati, this shows the Flare network, right? The red and the white. Flare brings DeFi settlements to XRP. Let me show you. The motorcycle, and I can show you another better clip because it's not the best, but you see the ramp. The motorcycle is through the ramps, bridging or jumping over a bridge truck that you see in the background. These are bridge trucks. The bridge trucks, and I can show you a better clip after we watch this, represents gold, silver, water, and I think another gold, silver, water, and something else. I have to see the trucks again themselves. But Flare brings decentralized finance to the XRP world. Flare is a combination of Ethereum smart contracts, AVAX consensus, because I was back and forth about what is AVAX, and you see the Phoenix right here. It represents XRP. It's on the fuel tank because XRP is the fuel. And it brings settlement to XRP. This is called Ripple Spring Effort. Their collaboration with Flare, right? Is Ripple Spring Effort. It brings smart contracts to the XRP world, and it keeps the system decentralized and reliable, and Flare building those bridges. right? So there's the phoenix, the 13 dots, and then we're going to see the switch because it's liquidity pool is able to liquidate bonds, stocks, real world commodities without a third party, without a broker. So that's the bridge currency. That's Jim Parsons right there. All right, this is, I'm being closer. This is the ledger to being cash of the future. On my other videos, I don't then pause it. I don't see it on here. We see a lot of 333 too, repetitive that's connected to Bitcoin, number 33. But you will see 2025 if you replay this from other video clips. You'll see 2025. Let's see if I can pause it, but I've showed it other my other videos with 2025, and every video is this is different. So I'm in your, now this is Jim Parsons. They say we know who Satoshi is, but we're not telling. I'm pretty sure they do. um it could be thrown around, or I'll give it to LeBron. Now what does this mean? That it can be thrown around, or I'll give it to LeBron. It's saying this is the current system that we're in, where only 3% of the population is rich, right? Cryptocurrency have novice understanding of cryptocurrency, the total power of cryptocurrency. Rules are defined for creation of additional cryptocurrency there. And so that's the idea, that's the concept to get out of this Ponzi scheme. Now, back to Professor Frank. If you could hear this, and every episode is different. They have taken away all of the full episodes that show this. He told Lisa, I'm going to explain cryptocurrency to you. And he holds up the remote. He says by clicking the link. That was Chainlink. Again, Rubik's Cube, blockchain technology. The VCR represents the Swift financial system. David Schwartz has gone on record that says XRP will not replace Swift, but it will collaborate with it. Why? Because the Swift financial system right now is not owned by a single entity. It has a collaboration of 3,500 members. So this is not going to be just a single entity or just a United States dominatory type of technologies that these other G10 countries are going to adopt. It's not going to be just one. We're not going to be under that new world order where the dollar is the global reserve currency. Every country is going to have its own central bank's digital currency. Chainlink is the oracle. Flare is a type oracle as well, but Chainlink is the oracle. And again, we saw Chainlink also on the neck of the phoenix. Okay. Now, something that I've never brought out before, the frog that spit on Professor Frank, along with the 2 lines for XLM again, the Pepe frog. Have you all ever thought of that? The Pepe frog. Pepe is going to do big things along with Doge and Shiba Inu, because that newspaper was photoshopped with a Shiba Inu. Now we have the Frank coin, the Bitcoin. That's this Professor Frank, Larry Fink. That's the Bitcoin. And this guy says, who I have hedges for $20, who needs to use Frank coin. Now, this is where we see the Cosmos logo again for the people that said that Cosmos was a joke or laughed at Cosmos. Is all over The Simpsons. And what the Cosmos represent is nuclear energy. Now, you all know that, or maybe you don't know, stop assuming what people know. But with nuclear energy is the energy type that Bitcoin uses for its mining. And Bitcoin has a new layer 2 that's already out and produced, that's going to make it more energy efficient. We're moving into green energy right now. But this is Mr. Burns. This he represents the cash. That's why he has the dark green jacket on. The old financial system. He does not want people to have the Frank coin, aka Bitcoin, that will free them from centralized banking. You also have the lobster wallet for XLM now. Um, what is layer 2 for Bitcoin? Let me see. Let me look up that name real quick. Because when you have as many cryptos and descriptions and things in your head like I do, it's real easy to forget. But what's the layer 2? It's Supra DeFi coming soon with the Bitcoin ecosystem. And it's going to integrate with Bitcoin layer 2 for the people that argue that Bitcoin is too slow and it's too this. And that's why we have Supra, Supra, and it's red and white also. I went back and forth about was it Supra on the motorcycle or Flare, but after I know what Flare and XRP have already collaborated and done, it was just cut and chase to me that was Flare on the motorcycles. Okay. So Mr. Burns represents the cash system.
But sir, I'm allergic to shellfish. And I'm not. Waylon.
Hi, Professor. I wanted to see how you're enjoying
the lobster there.
He hasn't invested in deodorant, I can tell you that much.
Wanted one of those pens with the 4 different colors. I fashioned one myself, but it's a tad bit unwieldy.
I can still hear it. He's in Chicago, for God's sake. So, are you happier?
No, I got everything I wanted, even the pen. But he's the richest guy in town.
But he's not rich, and the most important thing there is.
Elf? Your mother's sisters come for a visit.
Actually, they're coming in 20 minutes.
Take it, Frank the Nose. Hey, guys, I was wondering if my friend Professor Frank and I...
So what's Professor Frank Bitcoin's problem? He's rich. But again, Bitcoin has always been created for the people, not the banks. Bitcoin, Satoshi, whoever always wanted people to have the power for peer-to-peer and get out of the banking system. There's an individual with SHX who started XRP that went over to XLM. That must be where the rumor about XRP and Bitcoin developers are the same. Can you explain Back to the Future reference? I couldn't find Google it. Yeah, if I'm not too tired, I've been on for over an hour. And even though I'm discussing this right now, this takes a lot of mental and spiritual energy. So if I'm not too tired, I sure will. You all make sure you get the lights up. This is where you see on the flags isotopes. ISO to me represents ISO 22 tokens. And again, he's Frank Coin. He's rich, but he's lonely. The biggest currency and commodity in the world is relationships with friends and family. So this never predicted that Bitcoin would collapse. He freely gave it to Lisa. I'm going to show it to you. And this is where a lot of people has been gone wrong years ago, because this video is at least 3 years old. And they've been saying Bitcoin is going to collapse based off this, and they've inaccurately interpreted it. So let's go.
I could join you. All right, but we've been playing a long time. Well, to fight backward. All correct.
Yay! I'm Too Tall Jones, and even I didn't know the answer was me.
And I really appreciate the long, healthy walk from my new parking spot.
All right, let's go back. Too Tall Jones. What number does he have on? Too Tall Jones, the number 72. What is Bitcoin connected with? 72. Right? Bitcoin, not BTC. Now we have the Ripple logo here. Right? And not only do you have, and that's Mr. Burns, represents green, the dollar.
The actual coins? If so, make sure they're made from something men must die mining. Is there an ivory that comes from people?
All right. So this is the X. This is Ripple. This is X. Mr. Burns, who represents, again, the current fiat currency system, wants to get rid of Bitcoin. They don't want the power in the hands of the people. So we see the XRP logo here.
Now listen here, you magna cum losers. You're here for one reason and one reason only: to create a pseudo currency like the Bitcoin.
All right. So now he has cryptographers trying to figure out how to break Bitcoin, how to make it collapse, and that's the Ripple logo right there. Or that represents our pyramid. Ponzi scam. I'll just say that. On the back of our dollar, that represents the pyramid scheme. That's the pyramid scheme. He's in support of that. So when I see people that say, yeah, we want Bitcoin to crash, you're Mr. Burns on The Simpsons. Because you don't want the people to have the wealth in their hands. You want people to use a devaluated currency like cash. That's why everybody wants XRP, RLUSD, XLM, SDC. They want all of these to be backed by precious metals. Why? Because if it's not, it devalues it. It's not that prices are increasing, what they call inflation, is that our purchasing power of the dollar is decreasing. And again, President Nixon did that in 1971. So this is the pyramid scheme. And he's angry. He's like, we got to break Bitcoin. We got to wipe it out. It's transferring the wealth away from me. Again, top 3% of the world is wealthy, and giving it to the people. So when you say I'm a Bitcoin maximist, no, I just know most people that fight it don't understand it, which happens when most people fight, but they, don't understand.
I mean, I'm a sick man, sir. I'll get help.
Does anyone have any thoughts about how Waylon can approach these feelings? You? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know your name yet. I'm going to write you a prescription for sycophantanol. Take one every time you feel like saying what you really think.
Thank you.
I will take you on a tour of Springfield's finest establishments. Come on, let's go. It'll be true.
Okay, so we see the X. Every day, this represents everyday working people. We see the a little similar to Ethereum logo in the background. But these people are everyday working people that's in the system, that's tired, that's working hard and hard, that's putting in 40 hours a week for 40 years to get 40% of their paycheck when they're retired. It's not enough to retire. And what do you do when you work hard? You just go especially if you're a man, you just go to the bar after work and you vent. And on a low budget, you have a good time. And hope you have enough energy to wake up the next morning and do it all over again. You live in that rat race, right? So that's the X on his back. Okay, this moves fast. Let me play that again. This is the H. Someone asked me about H bar and Back to the Future. I sure will. I will do that. I'm home late. That's the pigeon. The pigeon gives messages. We know that even has the, tag on his leg there. Pigeons are messenger birds. Home late. That's the H bar symbol. But what is he doing? He's partying. Champagne. H bar is going to make people rich. It is. They are celebratory, right?
This equation, if solved, could make all digital coins worthless, including Frank's.
Excellent.
All right. I hope you all just heard what he said. That this equation is solved can make all, not just Bitcoin, but people like, yay! Simpson said Bitcoin going to zero. That's not what he said, but he said including Franks. It can make all cryptos go to zero, including Franks. That's the pyramid scheme. He's in the green. That's the cash dollar. You all, I'm teaching better than you all are giving me comments. SHA-256 is the security that Bitcoin have. Now, for people that's anti-Bitcoin because they don't understand how God-like it is and how it really is physical gold, And gold is the only thing that's can free us and reset this financial system. And that's the reason why they want XRP to be backed. Bitcoin doesn't have to be backed by a physical commodity, the intellectual property of it. Just like gold is not backed by anything, but the intellectual God is God that made it. Like man cannot make gold, they can fake it. They can't make it. So we have the SHA-256, which is a algorithm in blockchain, the hash functions. And it is used to secure high algorithm for security, cryptography, and data integrity verification. So they said if we can figure out this, I'm gonna replay it. So people don't, so listen, XRP, I'm with you. I got 5 figures in XRP. But I'm not gonna say Bitcoin is not what it is. Do I wish I had more Bitcoin than I do? But as for me, that's why I'm taking my profits from a lot of these altcoins and still rolling it over to Bitcoin for long-term store of wealth. I'm not fighting something that's helping me. Okay, because I have to put an audio on my phone so you all can hear. All right, let's hear it.
Equation, if solved, could make all digital coins worthless, including Frank's.
Excellent.
Amazing, Professor. You win again. This is my only suit of clothes.
About this, Professor, the curse of wealth is that you will never, ever again know if anyone truly likes you.
Okay, Homer has the anchor right there in his pocket. And so we know that XLM and Anchor are connected as well. It's anchors connect the Stellar network to traditional banking rails so that the world currencies can interoperate on a single seamless platform. Somebody asked me, is XLM just not interoperable? I'm like, yeah, because we're not even in ISO right now. We're not even in use cases. So this is where we have XLM and Anchor. Hello, LaKayla Deloach. That's my daughter. I probably should have said your whole name on this live stream. I'm live streaming. All right. But we got Anchor. We had the Stellar Lumas right there.
Don't worry about what Mr. Burns says.
Live quite a life.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
You had the Amazon bosses, not in this particular one, but in another episode, you can see the Amazon boxes delivered to him. Like he's like a billionaire right now, right? But he's lonely. That's why he hit the robot and got a hug. And this is Will Smith, iRobots, where people saying robots not going to have emotions, and yeah, they're gonna make them like that Elon Musk and that movement. But at any rate, there was a crash. There's going to be a crash. Strikers was on strike. Workers for Amazon. You just gonna have drones doing more delivery, more AI. It's predicted that this year, 85 million jobs. Exactly, you all. Exactly. Government print fiat. Exactly. 85 million jobs replaced by artificial intelligence, right?
I had a jazz friend who died.
I need proof that my friends actually are friends. So I got regular tickets. Oh, that reminds me. I need to have a cyst removed. Now's as good a time as any.
So that's Frank again. He said, I want to prove that my friends are actually my friends. Again, he's a billionaire, but he doesn't have the friends he wants in this episode. So he got regular tickets. He didn't get like skybox tickets to the game. There we see ISO again, ISO 20022. There we see Adam again in the backdrop for people that question if that's Cosmos on the Phoenix 1988. ISO again, he got regular tickets, and his friends said, you know what, we'll pass. So they only want to be his friends for the luxury of what his money could do.
So, this time, would one of you be so kind as to, I insist.
My first independent thought is, I dislike you.
Someone posted a solution on the whiteboard. Frank is ruined.
Did I do it?
All right, Frank is ruined. This is where we got the rumor mill. Bitcoin will crash. It's ruined. Gas lighting. You see gas right here in the back. People are in their PJs. Unexpected. That remind me of Matthew 25, the 5 foolish virgins and the 5 wise. And that the 5 foolish was the ones prepared. It's only 7% of people in crypto. 7%. Like this is going to happen overnight. People 401k is going to be wiped out. So you see people are in their PJs, unexpected, at night. They say, hey, this whiteboard, the problem is solved. We see gas is in the background. What is gaslighting? It's a form of psychological abuse or manipulation to show self-doubt in the victim's mind. What are they showing self-doubt about, people? Bitcoin. I had to take a sip of water. Bitcoin. And not just Bitcoin, they want to show self-doubt because Mr. Burns, fiat currency system, Ponzi scheme, he wants to keep the cash in the 3% and away from 97% of the population. The Ponzi scheme pyramid is all on Mr. Barnes' head. And they said, not only can we crash Bitcoin, is supposed to be SHA-256, supposed to be secure against this stuff, but we can crash all crypto. Now, I'm going to elaborate on this whiteboard real quick. Try to do it real quick because we see things at the bottom like since 2015 when A&P went bankrupt. And I really do feel sorry for people that don't understand Bitcoin. But however you can, that's your choice. I mean, I have to go to my notes, right? So this says Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Filecoin. Filecoin again is one of the cryptos that the XRP developer says he has along with Bitcoin in the Jeremiah Da Vinci interview. This double line arrow is only true if A and B must be true. So we see the backwards E a lot. Some people have said that means Bitcoin. I don't. The backwards E mathematically means there exists. So it is saying there exists Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Filecoin if RSA is correct. So if the variable proves that the security of SHA-256, the cryptographic hash functions, is correct, the first encryption system is valid. Now, I'm going to be honest. I've kind of forgot. I said this on one of my other videos, what RSA meant in crypto, but I know it means like it's the initials for the first developers of crypto. Let me see if I can pull it up. And then if I can, I'll just go back to it. It's not a big deal, but just wanted to elaborate why this was proven wrong. So it's Ravis Shamir Alderman, a public key algorithm that uses a pair of keys to encrypt. It's a public key. It can't be shared with anyone. Private key must be kept secret. So RSA is, in simple terms, the most widely used encryption methods for the world that's used in digital signatures and digital certifications. Its security is based on the difficulty of factoring large integers that are product of two large prime numbers. So just want to let you know that it is saying that the backwards E, there is this security only if RSA is correct, which is top security. SHA-256, the ME mode, The M means message, right? The E, encryption here. And then we have the N for modules beneath it. Now, A and P, which looks like infinity sign, we can think of ICP with that. Um, since A and P went, since 2015, when A and P went bankrupt, and I was like, why would this be in there? So A and P represents it was a big tea company. First, they used to sell tea, and then they decided to add milk, eggs, and meat, and made it like a grocery chain. But A and P went bankrupt because they failed to innovate. They failed to keep up with the conditions. Like the competition, they had a federal antitrust lawsuit. What A and P did was they produced their own products. They didn't have other name brands like we go to Costco or Sam's or Kroger today. We're going to see craft products. We're going to see different milk products, different egg products. A&P was a private label business that had their own product. So by this time, other products started advertising to people on televisions. Like you can get Kraft cheese, you can get this type of name brand meat, milk. And so people said, you know what, we want to try these other name brands. We just don't want to get A&P private labels. So A&P was slow to respond to the market demands. They thought in terms of the very basic. What's that sound like? The rise and fall of the United States dollar. They manufactured their own goods, America dollar, and it cut out the middleman. So what this is saying is that, again, the backward E is there is this. So there is this Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Filecoin. This is the pyramid scheme. Many people say they think that's Ripple, but it's the pyramid scheme, in my opinion, that if it exists, it guarantees security of the SHA-256 function. Now, mathematically, what the three dots pyramid represents is QED. And that means, therefore, quote, erate demonstration, QED. That means it's formalized proof that SHA-256 security is based on established cryptographic and mathematical principles. The RSA, again, is the data authenticity by allowing users to sign messages with a private key, which can be verified on the public key. So once the greatest, largest retailer, A&P, in the United States, they would not adjust. They didn't want to, they failed to innovate. They didn't want to adopt to consumer preferences. See, our dollar system right now moves too slow. It takes 3 to 5 days to move paper fiat currency overseas. SRP can do it in 3 to 5 seconds. It represents the damages that's going to happen when our fiat, the pyramid scheme collapse, the complacency, the poor management. See, our A&P represents the dollar. Ignoring market trends. Right? And then we can even look at XRP if it's pegged the RLUSD. I don't think XRP in and within itself is going to be pegged to gold, but we can look at that as the sun and XLM pegged to silver as the moon, right? And so with this being said, Elon Musk wants to cut, this is where we get Dogecoin as well, cut government spending. Filecoin holds a robust of data on individuals too. And or the United States would go bankrupt just like a person would. So United States, 1933, during the Great Depression, was not the only time United States went bankrupt. Right? So this has been misinterpreted for years, and unfortunately, people took it and ran with it and said, "Oh, that means Bitcoin is going to collapse." Crypto Pharaoh says we had A&P in New York. Yep, they didn't want to innovate, just like you had United States dollar. I don't believe 401ks will go to zero. That means every company will go bankrupt. Jobs have no purpose because you are paid in fiat. Well, what do you think will happen when this currency system collapses and people's retirement is held in the fiat currency? What do you think is going to happen? People are going to watch the Ponzi scheme of the global economy. Um, those people on there tell you how people are going to have to work more in their retirement. Even C19, when that crash happened and people 401ks lost thousands, that added years of working on their life. So you think it's automatically going to be converted over to crypto? Well, it's going to be converted over to CBDCs. Now, will those CBDCs be able to be converted into crypto? I doubt it. Like, did you all hear Trump's opening speech about he wants to protect the people to have the power of their self custody wallets? That means we don't know, the time is ticking where people will even have control of their own crypto, or they will be able to get crypto on exchanges. Like by the end of Trump's presidency, especially, if it's a woman that replaces him, as the Simpsons predict or plan or show the plan, they may say we're not going to allow the people to have control of their self-custody crypto wallets. And everything has to be converted to CBDCs. Then what? We're back in the centralized banking system. Because CBDCs are going to tell you how to spend. You have a time period to spend. If you don't spend it by this time period, then poof, it's gone. And if the only crypto that can save you out of the CBDCs is Bitcoin because of the SHA-256, then what? I don't know. Because Bitcoin, it is very institutionalized now, but it is not centralized. That's why Trump also said we don't want CBDCs. But if other countries are going to dump the United States dollar and adopt CBDCs, then what,
No.
I guess we'll never know.
Equation was solved. Solved by the one person who could solve it. Professor
And you win again.
Like, also, anyone else smart enough to solve this is too smart to come to Springfield. I will treasure this forever.
I had $1 billion. What have I done?
Okay, Lisa said, I knew Professor Frank Smart solved this equation because anybody else that solved this would have been too smart to come to Springfield. So she knew he solved it, right? I let you all hear some audio. And she's speaking in her phone and she's, recording to write her report. And you see Top It Off in the background. And he said, I had $1 billion. See, Bitcoin gave the ledger the power to the people because that's the original intent of Bitcoin. And institutions came in and bought it up and did ETFs to make it unaffordable for middle class people to hold and make some real profits on it. Then they come out and say, I'm having these XRP dreams and XRP prophecies, get the religious people to all get into that curtail and make Bitcoin. That's why it's so argumentative about Bitcoin and XRP. No, I said fucker, Jacob fucker. Fugger is hard. And it's difficult. He said, I was once a billionaire, but this is the man that didn't have friends, remember? He had no problem giving his wealth to Lisa because of her heart and her purity and her innocence. And he let Mr. Burns continue to run the pyramid scheme and be the richest man in Springfield, only 3%. Now, I'm going to break down this US dollar. Now, that's showing him with Hensler, aka Gary Gensler, who's going to be gone in a couple of days. And most people saying, now Frank Coin, hold on. Now Frank Coin and Bitcoin and Gary Gensler are in bed together because they saw this at the end, but this only after he transferred the wealth into Lisa's hands into the hands of the people. Right now, we got back Mr. Burns, who's out for the United States dollar, who wanted the crash of Bitcoin. Right.
I was there.
I'm trying to get this sound in collaboration. Y'all, it's not easy. Give me a second.
We weren't on the same side, but I was there. Oh, much better.
All right, so let's go back without the sound because it's just hard for me to align them together. So now Mr. Burns is happy. He's gotten Bitcoin, won't get in the hand of the general population. Lisa's an automatic billionaire because she has Bitcoin. And he's dancing with the dollar bill again. Again, that pyramid on his head represents the Ponzi scheme. All along, Federal Reserve note. George Washington. And he said, oh, he was dancing with George Washington initially. He said, oh, we was on different sides. So he pushes old George out the way and started dancing with who? Now, if you study George Washington, you know his viewpoints on slavery economically. He said slavery was not economically efficient for America anymore, and that it costs more to have slaves. So that was his only reason to want to free the slaves. Right. Abraham Lincoln felt the same way. And, he was assassinated. He wanted the greenback. And many people say he was assassinated because he wanted to free the slaves. No, they didn't see it economically viable to slaves anymore. And who did he start dancing with? Well, President Nixon. What did President Nixon do? Devalued the United States dollar. He removed it from the gold standard. Right. So he pushes George Washington out the way. Boom, I don't want you. I'm all for the Federal Reserve. Now, we look at the A on this dollar. Look at him. And we see A, and we see the numbers 1, 2, 3. The number 4. 4 represents the number of the earth realm. It represents the earth on the fourth day. 4 things were created. Life. Seed was been able to transport into life, vegetarian, fruit. So we had life, not fruit, but vegetarian. Seed was able to be agriculture. I say it that way. We had light, Ligta, the lesser light to rule the day, the darker light to rule the night. We had land that was created on the fourth day biblically, and light, land, liquid. We had water. We had water, oceans, and seas. 4 things. News, north, east, west, and south. 4 corners of the world, according to the Bible. So we have the number 4, and then we have the flip, the reversal, 1, 2, 3, and then we have 3, 2, 1. Now, if you add up all of these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, it equals 16. Could it be that we're going to see something with United States dollar on April the 16th of this year? Could we see a flipping? And it's speaking of the flipping, I can show you another version or variation of the XRP that is shown on season 13 episode, but I've shown you flare, shown you H bar. So we got season 31. Like, this is some 4th dimensional stuff. And yes, I am XRP, but as for me, I'm going to put all of my gains from altcoin. That's just me. Back into Bitcoin, the true decentralized, and the one that I really feel like that is when quantum financial system flip is switched. That's what that meant on the whiteboard. They said if we can figure this out, not only can we make Bitcoin a zero, but all coins. We also know that April's name in the ledger, Simpsons Frink coin, is the black lady that's Yeah, the cash burning at the end is representation of the Great Reset. The Simpsons also shows you in other episodes as well. Cash is burning, but for time's sake, I'm not going to play all of that, but they show you that as well. Cash burning. So make sure you have your top ledgers um, in this. Yes, XRP is going to be big. Yes, it's going to support the banking system. Yes, it's going to. We see the X on Homer's back as cash is burning. But really, we still know there are some components when it comes to institutional sales to XRP that are um, still centralized when it's sold to the retail investors. So you can see cash. Many of this episode, Simpsons are burning dollar. Um, thanks for the currency. Oh, dollars piled up. Now, when he's Mr. Burns, who's all for centralized banking, this is a dream. Season 31. This is the pyramid. He said, thanks for the currency. Bills piled up to the hills. High ruble. The ruble has already crashed. Deutschmark pound. You gave me such thrills. Then he said, I didn't fight alongside you in the war. Right? He pushed George Washington. We weren't on the same side, but I was there. And he was like, I don't want you, George Washington. You didn't feel like slaves were good enough for the economy. Um, and so even when the US dollar crashes, you all, with 401ks, you're still going to see, just like C19 is going to lose your retirement is going to lose value because it's in a depreciating asset. Like even when it switched to CBDCs, which they're going to market to the people like in such a way that okay, the old fiat currency system was devalued and lost value, but now with this CBDC, your money won't lose its value again. That's how they're going to market to the people. But you're going to be back in that Ponzi scheme. You're going to be back into the centralized banking. All right, time for me to show you XRP again. Let me make sure. XRP is going to be big. Quincy Jones even said this. He said, I don't measure value in dollars anymore. I measure it in either our XRP or physical gold. Now, of course, Quincy can't come on and tell you all about Bitcoin because he's a part of the ISO 22 coins list. They are all interoperable. But that was very powerful. So I'm not saying XRP not going to make you rich. XRP is going to make a lot of people rich and richer. But I'm telling you the difference of the purposes, right? All right, I'm going to play the volume for him. He's going to play fast and it's going to play muffled, but let's go. I'm tired now, so let's go.
I will explain cryptocurrency by clicking the link to TV's most beloved scientist, Mr. Jim.
I explain to you all, clicking the link, most beloved scientist, Mr. Jim Parsons, right? So you hear that. That's Chainlink, VCR Swift system, shadow banking system. New Titan 888 brought this out. So I give him credit. I didn't recognize that. This is the shadow banking system that we're currently under. The dollar stacked as pyramid. Again, 13 levels on the pyramid. The back of our US dollar represents our current pyramid scheme in the shadow banking system. So Jim Parsons also, you have to watch the Big Bang Theory. All right, so this is Flare. This is the Phoenix. That Flare is that utility or that bridges, right? Building bridges with Ripple. It's called the Ripple Spring Effect. Ethereum Smart Tracks, AVAX Consensus, XRP. Settlement time. Bring smart contracts to the XRP world. So this is where we get Flare XRP, the bricks trucks, water. What is the other one? I know it's like gold, silver, water, copper. commodities, flying over the commodities, bridge trucks, right? Gold, silver. You can see on the copper and gold, silver, they have the two to distinguish this from the water commodity. They have the red lights on top, so distinguish it from water commodity, right? And then the ramp again, the flare, the phoenix is the fuel, the 13 banking, 13 connect to XRP as well. Watch the beginning of this. We see Jim Parsons. He said, "Can a nerd do that?" Jim Parsons' whole thing was to prove he was not a nerd. I couldn't slow it down on the other one, but now you see 2025 on this one more repeatedly. So this was not Brad Garland House. I made videos earlier that said it was, but it wasn't. Then we have the ledger, the tassel on the book, the ledger showing he's graduated. 777. You all look at this, and this was just great for me to stop it at that time. I need to take a screenshot because I couldn't hardly get it. Some people want to say this is a P. I don't know why this red dot is here, but to me, that's a lowercase b. That's like Bitcoin all day. And again, if you watch the Jim Parsons, right, and you watch the Big Bang theory, then they were all about Bitcoin. This was back in the 90s. Now, some people want to say there was a P for like XPR. I don't think the lowercase b in Bitcoin is the small b represents the different context of Bitcoin. You use the small b or lowercase b for referring to Bitcoin in the terms of currency or money, which is digitalized. The uppercase b describe Bitcoin, the protocol, right? The lowercase b explains it as the payment network. So we know 777, that's the jackpot number, divine transition, the highest, luckiest numbers that you can hit for wealth, of a transfer of wealth. So this is definitely, in my opinion, not a P, but a lowercase b. But again, some other decoders look at it, and that's fine differently, but that's what it is to me. That red dot is seeming to be still following this B, doesn't it, y'all? These look like B's to me. And Jim Parsons, I always want to say, hey, I'm not a nerd. If you watch the video, I mean, the Big Bang Theory, you understand that he wanted to be cool, but he was a miner of Bitcoin. So every day I'm closer to being cash of the future, not in your wallet, but in your computer now, because I'm getting tired. It's the old dollar bill /sign. And the part I've been waiting, Jim Parsons, when you use the currency, the transaction, the green and gold is the cash system. This is April. This is, I've been telling you all about the Mason sign, skull and bones, the Masonic sign right here, right? On that, Masonic sign, Freemasonry, 33. I talked about 33 and Bitcoin connection too. So, hey, I'm not saying Bitcoin is, I mean, when institutions get in it, it's going to be institutionalized. It just is. This rest been our old dollar system again, the motorcycles, the jet ski, the flare network, fast payments, the ocean waves in the background, right? The ripple effects, ripples. April, again, we saw the dollar bill in The Simpsons with April 16th added up. We're going to see what April brings in. We know March 10th begins the ISO 2022. We know July 13th is declared as XRP Day, right? So we see the X on the fins. Now, I've been back and forth about, does this represent ZenFin, XDC, or does it represent XRP? It's going to flip Bitcoin one day by market cap. And guess what? It can represent both. It can represent both. We see the X on the bamboo sticks, but you still have the water that looks like paradise. The X, when you're growing bamboo plant, helps the plant structure and bend to make and grow in the shape that you want to. Also, Les Brown describes the bamboo Japanese tree that you water it and every day, and you see no growth for 5 years, but overnight we saw that whiteboard, the people were gathered overnight. All of a suddenly, the bamboo Japanese tree begins to grow after 5 years. Could that represent both XRP and Zenfin HDC? It can, but I really think it represents XRP without a ripple in water that's surrounding it, and that it will flip other tokens. Now, market cap wise, do I believe it really will flip Bitcoin? Who knows? But I tell people, just because a crypto flips another crypto market cap wise does not mean in price wise it's going to reflect it. This is always my go-to example. XRP flips BNB market cap wise, but the price indicators BNB is priced higher in dollars. Someone says 33 is the highest degree. Thank you. Hello, my friend. I'm going to text you. I'm sorry, I'm kind of reading these comments late when I'm off this live stream. 1.3 billion from South Korea into XRP, and I know a Japanese bank have a lot in it. So just because something flips, crypto market cap wise, doesn't mean that price is going to reflect it. Your favorite show, okay? And so we see the XRP. We're going to see handing the ledger the payment. It's recording the ledger. Speed, jet ski to April right here. I believe we're going to see $13 XRP this year. We're going to start seeing it as high as April. Now, this is what the Big Bang Theory residuals, that 13 million, is that talking about XRP? We see the slanted shadow banking again. A new Titan 888 brought that out again. Or is that talking about Bitcoin? I don't know. But we see the purple in the background. And we know Brad Garlinghouse was a lover of purple, especially when this first came out. So I'm not saying that's the blockchain. He said later glitches. I'm not saying SRP is not going to do what it do and all of that, but I just want to make sure we also know that April name is kind of be like a riddle. If you look at April, you can convert those letters into Ripple, but a P is missing. Now, the Simpsons predict 5 coins, Back to the Future. Simpsons also had Casino Coin on there and Avalanche. There was a champagne bottle flying from the sky in a red and white. You all, I'm getting tired. You can hear. I can't even think at this time. Parachute. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. All right, Back to the Future. You asked for it. Let's go. I'm tired, but I'm fulfilled because I finally got this out. I've been decoding at whiteboard and everything for a matter of weeks. So I'm so glad. All right. Back to the Future. We're gonna go to Crypto Bully Bear Decoder channel. Oh, and I'm gonna let him do it because my voice. I need some water. Someone says rest queen. I am. I'm about to rest. I didn't go to the gym today. It was so cold that I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to the gym because if I get outside in this sweat, I might catch a cold or pneumonia. So I didn't go today. I will go early in the morning. But I'm glad to get this out of my mind before I go to sleep because if I don't talk about it and release it, it'll still be on my mind. So I'm glad to get it out. I think Ripple is going to turn over their reserves. Great thought. But to who? Yes, you are a nerd. You have to do I need you think I'm you think I'm you know what? I hated math and history in school. And someone on my other live stream said she watches old video. I do. I love it. I watch what Ronald Reagan says about the economy, George Washington. I watched the 1944 when Bretton Woods came in, because I believe we're going back to the future. If you can understand the past, it's going to help you connect you to the present. I abs but in school they didn't teach it like this. Had they taught it like this, I would have loved it. All right, so this is going to play. I'm gonna cut the volume of it. It's going to play muffled and whatnot, but I can't help that. But here we go. H bar and Back to the Future.
See, the front window has a big H. If you can't see right here, I'm sorry, this window right here, this is a whole H. And then on the door, on one side of the door, there's a B, and the other side is the A. Let's see, that's the A, and that's the B on the back door. See the R back there. Now look, this is the H, there's the B. I think he did pull away. Hold on a second.
In the future, there's this idea that cars in flight.
Okay, there you go. There's the H, there's the B, there's the A, there's the R. It says H bar on there. Now I want you to go and just type in taxi cab from Back to the Future 2 and watch the documentary on your own and listen to the words. They tell you specifically in there that things in Back to the Future in the movie are not coincidental. They're placed in there on purpose. From the costumes to the button on the dashboard. Okay? They went and they bolted and screwed on that onto the taxi cab for a reason. They wanted us to see that, but not see it. Because if you watch this whole documentary on the taxi cab of Back to the Future, it does not mention once about H bar or the door or any of that in the documentary. They do show it to you, and if you watch it, you'll see the ripple sign. You see the B25 over here. If you know 25 connects to BTC. Why also I like Christmas time, and there are a lot of people talking about Christmas time and the riddles and shit. See, they do show it to you, and if you watch it, you'll see the ripple sign. You see the B25 over here. If you know 25 connects to.
You all, I'm so glad I stayed on this live stream. I never heard him say that before, and I just heard it. He said, you see the B25 sign over here, and we know the B25 equals BTC. My goodness. I'm logging off, you all. But you know what? I am a teacher by career, right? And so I want to show you all this. We're going to have just a quick review because this is a long live stream. HDC 13, right? XRP 858, 8 plus 5, also the 22 ISO. 15, the reverse 23, we're going to think in terms of Michael Jordan. And then we have the XLM, we're going to think in terms of Magic Johnson. And then we have the 9, we had a reduction of 13 as well. And then we had a 49, which is 13. So HDC, XLM, XRP, all interoperable, all intertwined, all connected together. You all, I'm tired. Today's date should have been January the 13th, but I am fulfilled. So I promise you, watch this at least 2 hours, right? I'm going to clip this up and show just the Simpsons part, and then me teaching about XRP and the dollar connection to number 13 as well. No, there's nothing hidden. There's nothing new under the sun, right? That's why the Bible says, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be open. Sometimes for some people, however, it is just hidden in plain sight. It's always in plain sight if you know what to look for. So we saw the Bitcoin also on the taxi of Back to the Future. Love it. And I debunked that Bitcoin is going to zero from the Simpsons that were taught years ago. Right? I love you all. Have a great, great rest of your night. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Share this video. Tell your family member, look, take 2 hours of your time. You watch Netflix for 2 hours. You watch a good movie for 2 hours. Learn about this. Learn about our financial system. Bitcoin said he's going to protect us from getting our self-custody. Trump, for getting our crypto taken away. He doesn't want a CBDC. He knows what it's going to do. You all pray for, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, just based off this fact, pray for President Trump. Why? Because he's attempting to do things that JFK did, that Abraham Lincoln wanted to do with the greenback, centralized banking, those 13 banking families. Whether you agree with his other tactics or comments, he's attempting to do what they did not do successfully. They were assassinated. And that, my friends, deserve prayer of and within itself, no matter if you're XRP Army or your Bitcoin Maximus and you just take the orange pill, doesn't matter. If you understand what he's trying to free of this financial system and what he's fighting for, if you understand the banking system that we're currently under and its suppression and oppression, pray for that man. He's setting people free. Now they said Harriet Tubman did not make this quote, so I'm not gonna say that was her quote, but think in terms of what they say Harriet Tubman quote was, that I could freed a lot more people, right? Had they known they were slaves. She said, yeah, I freed a lot of slaves, but I could have freed a lot more had they known they were slaves. Most people don't know they're slaves in this banking system. All they know is I work hard. It's hard to get ahead. The more money I make, the more they take in taxes. And the higher pay I get, the higher problems I have to solve. People are tired. They're burnt out. And 3% of 97% of the wealth is in 3% of the population's hand. And people want an even playing field. XRP will gain momentum after the President Trump is sworn into office. I agree with that, Crypto Pharaoh. I agree. I love your energy, by the way. I love your energy. I love y'all energy too, but I'm so glad you come on this live stream because people don't know when I get these live streams like that and to have that type of energy, it helps me go to keep going where I don't have to stop and address a troll or address the negative energy. It helps me just keep the flow and to keep teaching. So thank you. You all are my support. This is why I wake up every day and do what I do. It's all for you all. Like the Bible states, that beloved, I wish above all things that you be in health and prosper, even as your soul prosper, right? The Bible also states that I will make you rich and add no sorrow. The Bible also states that I give you, Deuteronomy, I give you the power to get well, right? I love you all. You're welcome, Sean Harris. Peace. Queen out.